Please rise for the Pledge of the Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call, please.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Hurst? Cumin?
Yes.
Lentine?
Here,
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
I would like to make a motion, Madam Chairman, to excuse Councilman Hurst for personal and family matter.
Thank you.
Second.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin?
Yes.
Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis? O'Toole?
Yes.
I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved?
Yes.
Under the consent agenda is the minutes from the council meeting of June 14th and Resolution 57, 2016, introduced by Mayor and all of council, a resolution of congratulations and gratitude to the Cleveland Cavaliers on its excellent 2015-16 season and NBA championship. Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Human?
Yes.
Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
All in.
Madam Chairman, I would
please.
like to thank Todd Hunt, our law director, for drawing this up quickly. I called him a few days ago. We're all proud of what happened to our city, but I also want to thank him for trying to squeeze all our names in so that we all get a little play on this. But I want to thank him and his office for taking care of this matter for us.
Oh, thanks. I should have read it then. I didn't know our names was on it. I just signed it. Thank you.
Could we have it read, maybe? I mean, he did write it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, please.
On June 19, 2016, the Cleveland Cavaliers completed an excellent season in which it won the NBA championship for the first time in its history, dating back to 1970, and the first major sports championship in Cleveland since the 1964 Cleveland Browns NFL championship. Whereas on behalf of the citizens of Richmond Heights and the city government, the mayor and the council wish to commend and congratulate majority team owner Dan Gilbert, team members Matthew Deladova, Channing Frye, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Richard Jefferson, Dante Jones, James Jones, Sasha Khan, Kevin Love, and Jordan McRae, Timothy Mozgov, Aman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, and Mo Williams. Head coach Tyronn Lue and assistant coaches Jim Boylan, Brett Breilmeyer, Larry Drew, Phil Handy, and Mike Longobardi for their extraordinary efforts and achievements, their exemplary representation of the team, the city of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, and the thrilling entertainment they provided to us over the past season.
Thank you. Madam Chairman, just a question. Do we mail this to them? Did they get a copy of this somehow? I think they would be fitting.
Yes.
There are instructions on the bottom.
It says to forward to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to reports. Mayor Roach.
Yes, I'm happy to report that our first e-newsletter was sent out to over 600 residents last Wednesday. You can be added to the mailing list by clicking on the subscriptions button at the top of our city's webpage. Waste and recycling pickup will be delayed 1 week, 1 day next week. And pickup.
Is it 1 week or 1 day?
No, it's 1 day next week. And it'll be picked up on Tuesday, July the 5th. Remember to put the trash out on Monday night. This concludes my report. Have a happy and safe holiday.
Thank you. Fire Chief Mark Newman.
Thank you, Council President Henry, Mayor Roche, members of council, and members of the community. Just one item this evening. Our next CPR course will be in August 2016 with a date to be determined. Division of Fire, in partnership with University Hospital Richmond Medical Center, offers bi-monthly CPR courses to residents of Richmond Heights. The Heart Saver CPR AED course is a classroom, video-based, instructor-led course that teaches adult CPR and AED use, as well as how to relieve choking on an adult. Anybody who's interested can call me at 216-383-6304. Class size is limited to 12 students per class. These classes are free to residents of Richmond Heights. The course is for the general public. It is not the health care provider course, and participants must be at least 16 years old to attend. That concludes my report for this evening, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Well, I guess there isn't a question, but I think the mayor forgot to mention Junk in the Trunk, and the CERT team was going to be helping with volunteer.
I think we still got a rec
Okay, so
report.
are you going to be there, Chief? Are you hanging out with us? Okay.
Undetermined yet.
Pardon, undetermined. All right, thank you. Okay, thanks. Chief Rowe?
Thank you, Madam Chairman, Mayor Roach, members of council, and members of the community. Our police activity thus far in 2016, our Part 1 crimes are up 6%, which is 11 Part 1 crimes from the same period of time in 2015. The highest increase is in the number of assaults, which are up by 14 incidents, and general larceny and thefts are down 21 incidents. Our calls for service are up by 304, or 9%. Our reports are up by 141, or 9%. Our arrests are up 38, or 12%. There's been an increase in the amount of arrests on warrants due to persons not showing up in court for not only our city, but other cities as well. Overtime is up 60%, or 462.75 hours from last year, primarily related to shift coverage due to medical leaves earlier in the year, as well as the mandated increase in continuous professional training hours determined by the state, which has increased it from 4 hours per officer to 11. Much of that, unfortunately, is having to be done on overtime. Mall activity, the mall has accounted for 5.3% of our calls for service and 4% of our arrests. Our three major apartment complexes account for 21% of our calls for service. And that's all that I have, and we'll entertain any questions if someone has them.
I have a question. Has mall activity stayed level in the last year or two, or has it decreased? Because it seems like there's a lot less over in the mall.
Yeah, it's been very steady. I recompute these statistics regularly, and those numbers have not budged. So since early last year, the numbers have gone pretty down. They're been remaining the same the last few months, but they're way down from the past.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Well, Macy's did have a security.
Yeah, Macy's had a very aggressive loss prevention department, and that certainly added to the number of arrests and the number of calls up there. So that did make a significant difference in both of those categories.
I was wondering. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to the building director, Bill Seabolt. Building commissioner, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Council President, Mayor Roach, and members of council and guests. Just very briefly tonight, I wanted to report that nearly a year of investigations and inspections and orders culminated this week in the in Dorchester Village Apartments, obtaining a permit for nearly $150,000 worth of sprinkler piping upgrades to the 4 buildings down at their site. They're going to be starting within the next couple of weeks as soon as the material arrives, and installing all new sprinkler risers in their stairways and across the roofs of the building in order to upgrade the ability of the fire department to fight fires in those buildings. So we're happy to see that. We're still waiting for the same progress on Richmond Park, but we're very hopeful that we're soon to be at a similar level of success at that site. That's all I have to report tonight.
Thank you.
Question or comment? With that being said, I would like everybody to be aware that the Richmond Park Apartments is under major renovation. The new owners purchased it in middle of January, and they are now starting renovation of, they tell me, all of the apartments. They're doing 200 this year, and they're going to do 200 every year or so. But probably more importantly for me, you're in the center building where the leasing office is, that is all being renovated. 2 new swimming pools, well, actually 1 new swimming pool and 1 renovated swimming pool. Some new retail stores they anticipate bringing in along with my little barber shop. But with that, I would invite anybody to come by and just see what they're doing. It's truly amazing to see what they've done in just 3 weeks. So it's very encouraging to see that some ownership the new ownership is taking some pride in their property, and I'm looking forward to a brand new Richmond Park Apartments.
Sounds good. Thank you. Interim Finance Director Tom DeLillo.
Yeah, thank you. We distributed financial reports for the month of May to the Finance Committee this evening. Wasn't a whole lot of discussion over it, but things are progressing fairly close to the projections on the budget. That's my
Thank
report.
you. Then we'll move on to the Recreation Director, Kenneth Stray.
Thank you, Madam President, Mr. Mayor, members of council, and members of the community. Pool passes are still available for purchase at the Richmond Heights Recreation Department. We've had an increase in the last couple of weeks, probably due to the hot weather, so don't be the only person without a pool pass this summer. Our pickleball pickup games have begun. They'll be held every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's at the Richmond Heights Community Park tennis courts. During the 9 to 11 time frame, we are providing the paddles and balls. They'll also be available for rental from the rec department outside of that time. It'll be free for residents. There will be a nominal fee for non-residents. The Junk in the Trunk Community Garage Sale is scheduled for Saturday, July 9th from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Greenwood Farm. The event to attend is free with a recommended donation of $3. Proceeds benefit Greenwood Farm. A few vendor spaces are still available. It is $30 per space, and you can contact the Recreation Department to register for that. Please note that all of the information about the Recreation Department can be found on our new Recreation Department Facebook page, so you can please like us at facebook.com/Richmond Heights Recreation, or you can just search for Richmond Heights Recreation Department, and we are on there. I'd like to close with a thank you for the extremely successful summer concert event that we held last Wednesday. The Pop-Tarts were the performers. We had support from Richmond Heights Kiwanis, Grand Point Healthcare, and Bill's Food Truck, and they all contributed to make it a really successful event. Thank you to our pickleballers that assisted with the demonstration, including Councilman Kuhlman. And thank you to all those that attended. Stay tuned for additional information about some special things we're planning for our next summer concert on August 3rd with the band Blue Siren. Unless there are any questions, this concludes the Recreation Department report.
Thank you. We'll move to the Service Department. Director Donald Korniski. Oh, he's not here, is he? Okie doke. So many people nowadays over here. We used to have 2 or 3, now we got a crowd. So then I'll move on instead to City Engineer Lee Courtney. No, I'm going to go with Crystal. She's in the middle. I'm looking at the paperwork and looking at people. I'm sorry. So, sorry, Lee. Economic Development Director Crystal Best.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Mayor, members of council, and community. My report will be brief today. I just want to, first of all, thank the city and Councilwoman Lewis and those who were able to come out on Saturday to support our real estate showcase. There's just some really fascinating things going on in Richmond Heights. Just to bring out 2 really big points I think that we need to highlight, and that is that the average house or house value in Richmond Heights is roughly $19,000 more than the national average. A second thing that's very important that we discussed on Saturday was that there is bank financing available, bank down payment assistance as well as county down payment assistance that can amount to thousands of dollars in available funding for people who are interested in buying one of the beautiful houses that we have here in Richmond Heights. I think it's really important to note that when you have a strong housing stock, you have a safe environment, as Chief Rowe just explained, and you have a superintendent that's doing such phenomenal things with the school. Richmond Heights is absolutely going to continue to grow as a community where people can live, raise their children, and feel safe. Those are three of my goals, to make sure that people know that that's happening. And so my takeaway from Saturday is stay tuned, because I am going to start doing hopefully some social media outreach to really try to get the word out that there's a lot going on in Richmond Heights, not just from a retail standpoint or industrial standpoint, but from the standpoint that this is a great community and we have a lot to offer. And I'm going to really be working to get that word out. And I just also wanted to say, Councilman Lentine, you're telling us about the apartments is making my job a lot easier, because that's a question I always get. So I would welcome a chance to come over and take a look around and
Please
talk you guys up, because
I'll give you the 25-cent tour. It's absolutely amazing what they're doing.
I'm very encouraged by that, because that really makes a big difference when you figure that roughly 1/3 of the population lives in the apartments.
I
So
never
that's
thought
huge.
I would see it, but it's very encouraging.
Well,
Please stop by.
I absolutely will. And with that, that's the end of my report, unless you have other questions.
No, thank you. Now, City Engineer Lee Courtney.
Yes, Madam President, 3 items. We took bids on this year's road program work last Friday, resulting in the legislation that's on the agenda tonight. The East Ohio Gas Company work in Wilson Mills has reached the Highland Heights line, but they still have to cross Wilson Mills and Richmond Heights again. They're working in both towns at the same time right now.
Pardon me, you said again? They have to, what do you mean by that?
Well, they already crossed Monticello and they crossed Richmond, but as they go into Highland Heights, they're moving from the north side to the south side. So they're going to cross Wilson Mills now.
Oh.
But that'll be the third of 3, and they're past the mall, so those are all good things. Good. And airport construction within the restricted area is scheduled to be completed this week. Work outside the restricted area, which includes the work on the west side of Richmond Road, will continue for a few more weeks.
All right. Well, thank you. You know that they're coming to an end. All right. Any questions or comments? Then we will move to the audience. Audience, do you have any questions or comments? Yes, please stand and give your name and address, please.
Good evening. I am.
Oh, I think there's a microphone over there, is it?
Yep. I'll set up.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Council President, City Council. My name is Rhonda Lowe, and I'm on Pearson Drive, right across the street. And 2 quick things. I am here representing the concerned citizens, the concerned taxpayers of Richmond Heights. However, I do have a question not related to that group. So I just kind of want to make that clear. My question is around, a couple of weeks or so ago, I understand that there was a school board retreat. And I understand that the superintendent sent invitations to council to attend a portion of it specific to a speaker they had that was a consultant that kind of outlined and presented a view of Richmond Heights and its look into the future if we don't make changes. I understand not everyone was able to attend. So my question is threefold. One, are you going to have a similar consultant come and give that same information that maybe the entire city can kind of hear the same thing? Two, for the folks for the council that was there, what were your takeaways? And for the council members that were not there, do you intend to go back to the superintendent and get a refresher so that you're able to go out to your constituents and impart that information? Because that is really good to know, especially if we're going to get knocks on our door come fall. That's my question.
Do you know if there is any documentation on that person's presentation?
I don't know.
I've requested the information. I haven't received it yet.
Okay.
There was a number of people who attended the night before, and there was 3 of us, I believe, attended Saturday. So there was, I think the majority of council did attend.
I could speak for myself that I did not attend, but I had been in touch with the superintendent. I work on Saturday, so I was not able to attend that event. But I have been in discussion with her and hope to continue to keep that line of communication open with me. That's how I handle it.
Yes, I know that the mayor and I have not discussed anything about bringing a consultant in to give us that report. I basically think that the report he provided us was good information. We don't need to get a guy to do the same thing again unless he were to come and present that same report to like open council or something like that. I couldn't see why you would pay for the research twice when he's drawn the conclusions. You understand what I'm saying? My takeaway from that is that it's more of, as we think about regionalism, working with other cities, my takeaway from that meeting is that we need to work even more closely with our school system, as well as selling the vision of where we want to take our community, which includes the city and the schools working very closely.
And Ms. Lowe, I'd just like to add also that we are currently involved in our master planning, which is what you were talking about, taking the vision of the city going forward for the next 5 or 10 years. And I am sure some of those recommendations that come from the school board will be considered in our master plan so that we can more closely cooperate with the schools. Because I think we all are in agreement that the schools are an important part of the draw to any community. And the more we can do to assist them, the better off we all are in the long run.
And I really enjoyed that meeting. It was very, very informative. And they had drawn up on some of the same conclusions that we saw as a city, because the city had also did a similar survey, was it like 10 or 11 years before, and we found some things with that, because we had surveyed the community. So it was just, somewhat a revelation of, okay, he did come to a similar conclusion. So our point is to move in that direction. Is the question of how do you do it, which is the question that I think we've been asking over and over. But I think he provided some options, and that was another takeaway from that.
I thank you for that. I'm sorry, I'm not at the mic. So thank you for those responses. I will tell you that the little snippets that I heard was a pretty scary insight as to what the future will bring. We don't make changes and consider it urgent. I think the phrase, just to paraphrase what someone told me, we are sort of on the same path and resemble the very similar path that East Cleveland is on. So that's pretty scary for me.
Yes.
That's not why I moved here, and that's
Right.
not why I would consider staying here.
Right.
So I think we're in a situation where, we either need to do something or hang up our hat.
You're right, and I think that was the one statement too that was really interesting. How it narrows down to your options and planning to take our city one way or the other, that was one of the key points, I think he said. Based on that, we're at that point where we have to decide which way we want to take our city. So I think that would be a good point if we can figure out how we can embed it all into what we want to do as we're going forward. So, but you can feel free to come and work with us on trying to figure out with our master plan update and with just trying to communicate or figure out what we need to do, period, with our upcoming levy. We're talking about a levy, and we need to think about how we can fit this in with the other part of our vision in the community. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. I think we did audience, and now we go into our old business. Thank you, too.
Under old business, ordinance 35, 2016, introduced by Mayor Roach, third reading. An ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Richmond Heights, State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2016, to amend ordinance number 12, 2016, and declaring an emergency.
Mayor?
Yeah, I think we've agreed to hold both 35 and 36 as we're pending some clarification of the contract.
Yes, that's true. We're holding 35, 2016 and 36, 2016.
Should I not read 36 then?
You can read 36, I guess.
Okay. 36, 2016, introduced by Mayor Roach, third reading. A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a purchase agreement for fuel pumps pursuant to the Ohio Department of Administrative Services Cooperative Purchasing Program, and that is also being held. Ordinance number 43, 2016, introduced by Mayor and all of Council, third reading. An ordinance to submit to the electors of the City of Richmond Heights the question of amending the charter at Article 12, Section 2, to revise the income tax credit for city residents who pay income tax to another municipality and declaring an emergency.
Mayor?
Yes, I believe we talked about this in the meeting of the whole. We were planning to have a hearing next in the next committee of the whole.
July
so
12th.
I'd recommend this being held on third reading.
Thanks. And that is July 12th.
Under new business, Resolution 54, 2016, introduced by Mayor Roach, first reading. A resolution authorizing payments to office team for the city's temporary staffing needs.
Mayor?
Yeah, this is a housekeeping item. Would appreciate its passage.
Second.
Alexander? Yes. Henry?
Yes.
Human?
Yes.
Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
Yes. Move for passage.
Second the motion.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Human?
Yes.
Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
Yes.
Resolution 54, 2016 passes unanimously.
Resolution 55, 2016, introduced by Cuman, first reading. A resolution accepting a bid for the various sections of the bid specifications for repairs and resurfacing of various city streets for the 2016 road programs and authorizing a contract therefore.
Mr. Cuman?
As Mr. Courtney so eloquently reported in both prior meetings and this meeting this evening, we went out to bid in an amount not to exceed $379,170, and the contract was awarded to Specialized Construction. Mr. Courtney, what are the three roads that are, I know it's Carl.
We are doing some work on Carl from Highland to Jeanette, some work on Jeanette, the east-west portion. We're working on the Park Road from the bridge back to the north edge of the front parking lot, and we're doing some work up on White Road, along with concrete repairs citywide, crack sealing, and some striping.
Thank you. The passage of this will allow us to finalize that contract and work to begin. So with that, I would like to move for suspension.
Second the motion.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin? Yes. Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. O'Toole?
Yes.
Move for passage.
Second.
Alexander? Henry?
Yes.
Cumin? Yes. Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. O'Toole?
Yes.
Resolution 55-2016 passes unanimously.
Resolution number 56, 2016, introduced by O'Toole. First reading. A resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to perform certain interfund transfers and declaring an emergency.
Joel?
Madam President, in the beginning of the year, council and mayor produced a budget, and a number of those funds are not self-sustaining, and this piece of legislation will transfer money for approximately half of the funds required in the items that are in this list, and it will allow money to be spent and keep our fund balances in the positive, thus making the auditors happy. So with that being said, I will move for suspension.
Second.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin?
Yes.
Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
Move for passage.
Second.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin? Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
O'Toole?
Yes.
Resolution 56-2016 passes unanimously.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I have two motions I would like to present.
Thank you, please.
Our first motion that I would like to introduce is a motion to authorize the mayor to be able to go into an agreement, a service agreement with a company called Voice Logger. This is a device that is used by the police department to help record and maintain their records. That fee is an annual fee of $2,600, and my recommendation is for passage.
I second that.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin? Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. O'Toole?
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
the company isn't Voice Logger, it's Steve Campbell and Associates, just for the minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's for the service contract on the voice logger.
That's passed, correct? Yes. I would like to make another motion to also give the mayor the authorization to go into another service agreement with the help me guys, I can't.
Like Treva.
Like Trivia. This is also a device that's provided by the professional business system. It's a device that helps the police department also to do some of the similar things I just mentioned. And it's a cost to the city to not to exceed $1,000.
Second that motion.
Alexander?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Cumin? Yes. Lentine?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. O'Toole?
Yes.
Motion passed for the purchase of a Lectriver system.
Service agreement.
Service agreement. Thank you. I think that's it, right?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Meeting adjourned.